It's 11:47 on a Tuesday morning. You're at the pharmacy, picking up your prescription, same as every week. Your phone buzzes once. Then the screen goes black. Not dead battery black. Black. Like it was never a phone to begin with. You look around. The clerk is tapping her register. Nothing. The card reader is dark. The woman behind you is shaking her phone like it owes her money. Outside, someone is sitting in their car, staring at a dashboard that won't start. You reach for your phone to call your wife. Nothing. You try to text your son. Nothing. You don't know his number anyway because you haven't dialed it manually since 2014. It's in the phone. And the phone is a glass rectangle that now has the IQ of a brick. You're 6 miles from home. Your wife doesn't know where you are. Your son is in another state. And you are now as disconnected from every person you love as if you'd been dropped in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This is not science fiction. This is what happens after a severe solar storm. A coordinated cyber attack on telecom infrastructure, or even a bad ice storm that takes out 3 cell towers and a power substation. It has happened. It will happen again. I made this video so that when it does, you're not standing in a parking lot hoping your phone performs a miracle. Today, we're covering 7 real ways to find and reach your people when every phone, every app, and every cell tower has gone silent. Let's start with the thing nobody wants to hear. You do not have a communication plan. You think you do. You have a contact list and a device that requires electricity, a satellite network, and a functioning internet backbone to be useful. That is not a plan. That is a dependency. Your grandparents had a plan. If something went wrong, everyone knew to go to Aunt Helen's house. No text required. No group chat. Just an agreement, made out loud. Over pot roast, that everyone remembered because it mattered. You need that, and you need it before the lights go out. Way number 1. The rally point. This is the single most important thing you will do after this video. You pick a place. One place. And every person in your family knows that if communications go down and you cannot reach each other, you go there. Not somewhere near the school. Not around the neighborhood. A specific physical location. The bench in front of the library. The south entrance of the grocery store. Your neighbor's porch. Be precise. Be boring. Pick somewhere close, easy to reach on foot, and obvious enough that nobody has to guess. Then pick a second one, farther out, in case the first one is compromised or inaccessible. Write both of them down. Give a copy to every person who matters. This costs you nothing but a conversation and a piece of paper. And it solves the single biggest problem in any emergency, which is not food, not water, not shelter. It's, where are you? 80% of emergency anxiety is not knowing if someone you love is alive. A rally point fixes that. No technology required. Humans managed this for about 10,000 years before Steve Jobs showed up. Way number 2. The paper network. You need your critical contacts written down. On paper, in your wallet or purse, right now. Not in your phone. On paper. Your spouse's number. Your kids' numbers. Your doctor. Your pharmacy. One neighbor you trust. One out-of-state contact. Because in a regional disaster, local lines jam, but long distance sometimes still works. You also need addresses. Physical mailing addresses. When the phones are dead, you may need to send someone to check on a person. You can't send someone to the contact in my phone, labeled Mom. Write it down. Laminate it if you want to feel fancy. Stick it behind your driver's license. This takes 15 minutes. If 15 minutes is too much effort to stay connected to the people you love in a crisis, I can't help you. Way number 3, the neighborhood handshake. This one makes people uncomfortable, and I don't care. You need to know your neighbors. Not all of them. Not even most of them. 2 or 3 will do. You need someone within shouting distance who knows your name, knows you live alone or with a spouse, and knows that if they don't see your blinds open by 9 in the morning, something might be wrong. This is not a social club. This is a survival network that has worked in every culture, in every country, for all of human history.
The modern world convinced you that talking to your neighbors is weird.
The modern world also convinced you that a smart doorbell is a substitute for knowing who lives next door. It isn't. Knock on a door. Introduce yourself. Say, "Hey, if things ever get bad, I just want you to know I'm here at number 42 and I've got a medical condition." That's it. That 30-second conversation might be the reason someone checks on you during a blackout, or the reason you check on them. Way number 4, the radio. Not the one in your car, though that works too. I mean a battery-powered AM/FM radio. Costs about $15. Runs on 2 AA batteries for 60 or 70 hours. When every screen in your house is dead, this little box will still be pulling signals out of the air. No A. Weather radio broadcasts on 7 frequencies, 24 hours a day, with automated emergency alerts. It will tell you what happened, how bad it is, and where help is being set up. It is the most underrated survival tool in existence. You can also get a hand crank model that requires no batteries at all. Your arm gets tired. You survive. Fair trade. But here's the real play. If you want to talk back, if you want two-way communication, you need a handheld radio. The ones that operate on the FRS and GMRS bands. No license needed for FRS. Range of about 1 to 2 miles in a built-up area. Buy 2. Give one to your spouse, your neighbor, or your adult child who lives nearby. Agree on a channel and a check-in time. Channel 7 at 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Simple, repeatable, and when the cell towers are smoking wreckage, you'll be talking to someone who matters while everyone else is wandering around like lost children. Way number 5. The physical message drop. This one comes straight from a world that existed before any of us were born, and it still works. You pick a spot, a physical spot, where you can leave a written message for someone. Under the doormat, taped inside the mailbox, in a specific crack in the fence. Sounds ridiculous until you're trying to tell your daughter you've evacuated to the shelter on Oak Street and your phone is a paperweight. You leave a note. Date. Time. Where you went. Your condition. March 15th. 2 p.m. Gone to Oak Street Shelter. Knee is bad, but I'm okay. We'll check this spot daily at noon. Use a pencil because ink runs in rain. Use a Ziploc bag because water destroys paper. Both of those items are already in your house. If you want to get serious, agree on a simple mark system with your family. A piece of tape on the mailbox means, I was here and I'm okay. An X means, I need help. No tape means no one has been there. You just built a communication system with tape and a pencil. The entire cost is less than $1. The entire value is immeasurable. Way number 6. The out-of-area contact. This is old FEMA guidance, and it still holds. When a disaster hits your area, local phone lines and cell towers get overwhelmed. Everyone within 50 miles is trying to call at once. But a call to another state often goes through because those lines aren't jammed. So you pick one person outside your region, an old friend, a cousin in another state, and you tell your whole family, if you can't reach each other, call Uncle Dave in Ohio. He becomes the switchboard. Your wife calls Dave, says she's okay. You call Dave, he says your wife is okay. Your son calls Dave from 3 states away, gets the status of everyone. One person, one number. Everyone checks in through the same hub. This system worked during September 11th when Lower Manhattan's cell network was destroyed. People couldn't call across the street but could sometimes reach a landline in Chicago. If it worked on the worst day in modern American history, it'll work for you. Way number 7. The walk. Sometimes there is no radio, no note, no signal, no relay. Sometimes the only way to find your people is to go to them. And here's where I'm going to be honest with you, because you deserve honesty. If you are 70 years old with a bad hip, walking 3 miles in a crisis is not a casual stroll. It is an operation. You plan it like one. You know the route. Not the GPS route, the actual sidewalks, the shortcuts, the hills, the places where you can sit and rest. You walk it once, on a calm day, so your body knows what it feels like. You know how long it takes you, not how long it takes a healthy 30-year-old. How long it takes you. You carry water. You wear real shoes, not sandals, not slippers. And you tell someone where you're going before you leave. Leave a note at your message drop. This is not a movie. Nobody is giving you a medal for collapsing on the sidewalk because you tried to power through. Walk smart. Rest often. Arrive alive. That's the mission. Now, the mistakes. Mistake 1. They assume the phones will come back quickly. After Hurricane Maria, Puerto Rico had no reliable cell service for weeks. Not hours. Weeks. Mistake 2. They memorize nothing. Every important number is stored in a device. The device dies. They're stranded with a brain full of passwords and 0 phone numbers. Mistake 3. They wait for someone to come to them. Nobody is coming. Not for hours. Maybe not for days. You have to be your own first responder. Mistake 4. They have no check-in system. The family has never once discussed what to do if phones stop working. Because it feels silly until it isn't. Mistake 5. They buy a radio and never test it. You have to turn it on. You have to find the no AA frequency. You have to make sure the batteries work. Do it now, while the power is on and you can hear me say this. Mistake 6. They panic and drive. Everyone gets in their car at once. The roads become a parking lot in 20 minutes. Now you're stuck in a metal box with no communication, no information, and a quarter tank of gas. Mistake 7. They trust that someone else has a plan. The government has a plan. For the government. Your neighbor has a plan. For your neighbor. Nobody has a plan for you except you. Here's what you do today. Pick your rally point and tell your family about it. Write your critical contacts on paper and put them in your wallet. Introduce yourself to one neighbor. Buy a battery-powered radio and test it tonight. Choose your out-of-state contact and make the call to tell them they've been drafted. Set up a message drop location and tell the people who need to know. Walk your emergency route once this week. 7 things. All free or nearly free. All doable by anyone, in any condition. Living anywhere. Not one of them requires an internet connection, a credit card, or the ability to run a 4-minute mile. Look, the world you live in is spectacular and fragile. You carry a device in your pocket that can reach anyone on the planet in 2 seconds. And it is one bad storm, one cyber attack, one overloaded transformer away from being nothing. Your great-grandparents would find that terrifying. Not the disaster part. They expected disasters, the part where an entire civilization forgot how to find each other without a screen. This isn't paranoia. This is what a responsible adult does. You make a plan when it's easy, so you don't have to make one when it's impossible. So here's my question. Do you have a rally point with your family? And if not, what's stopping you from setting one up tonight? Tell me in the comments. See you in the next one. Stay ready.